Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Machine Gods of the NOXIAN EXPANSE playthrough. Yes, I know it's been a while. The episode you're about to watch, episode 9 of the playthrough, was recorded the day before I did my back-in. It was actually recorded and edited the day before. So this has been kind of waiting for about 3 months. Has it been 3 months already? But I didn't want to upload it until the next video was ready, which would be episode 10, gameplay number 10. So I do apologize for the delay. I've had to go back to the books and remember everything about the game and how to play and what I was doing, what my character was doing, but I think we are ready. So please enjoy episode 9 as our character, Xuan, tries to search for Kaari, the merchant, and hopefully get to the pyramid, but also watch out for the next episode, which I am about to go and start recording now. Enjoy. Okay, so we sorted out the next scene, which is going to be scene 3. So we're going to travel to the pyramid, we're going to try and catch Kaari, and we're going to try and find the entrance to the pyramid, or basically try and locate where the pyramid is within the forest. That's going to be scene 3. Scene 4 will probably be going into the pyramid, and I'm going to treat it as a ruin, like a dungeon. However, I did give myself a twist modifier because of, I did a fumble. I think in the last video I did a fumble when I was trying to get the guy, or trying to find the guy. So we are going to have to roll for the scene and the twist. Another thing is that I actually forgot to do the healing. We stayed in Mossmore for the night. We got a full night's rest. We had a meal, and when you do that, you can actually roll a d8 to heal. We haven't done that, so I'm going to do that because I think that could be useful. We're currently at 18 health out of 22, so I'm 4 below maximum, so let's see what we get. We get a 7, which means I am back to full health. Always a good thing when you're about to enter a fearsome pyramid. Now, in the last video, we did actually roll up the name of the pyramid, didn't we? What it's known as, the Twisted Pyramid of the Dark Path. Yeah, we rolled up the name using the NoteQuest game, the NoteQuest book. So we have to roll up to see whether there's a twist, whether what we are planning to do for the scene in terms of the traveling and the finding the pyramid, whether there's anything else that happens or anything that kind of deviates what we think is going to happen. So we can do that now. So to roll the twist, we have to roll a d6. Now, normally for each scene, when you start a new scene, it's a 1 in 6 chance of having a twist, in which case you have to roll on the sort of the surprise or the unknown elements table. They're called elements. Here, the surprise or unknown event, something that will affect what's going to happen in the scene. Now, we have actually had 2 twists so far. In scene 1 and scene 2, both of them actually had twists, and they were both secret knowledge. We rolled exactly the same thing. So let's see what's going to happen now. But because we now have a +1 modifier, it's going to be a 1 or a 2. There is a twist for scene 3. We can't get 3 scenes and 3 twists, can we? Badoink. Yes, we can. Here we go. Right, okay, so we've got a twist again. So we'll tick that. We've got a twist here. Now, again, because of space and everything, I'm not actually going to write what the twist is here. I'll write it inside the notebook. So before we continue in terms of traveling, which is the page I've opened it at, let us go to here. Okay, so the scene. Establish the scene and roll the twist. Okay, so we have now got to roll on this table again, and to see what exactly is going to happen to my plan, or something else that needs to be accomplished before we can move on to the next scene, kind of thing. So we're rolling 2 d8s. Last time we got a 4, 4 and a 4, 3, if I remember correctly. So let's roll. First of all, what kind of surprise or unknown event do we have? We got something different this time. Yes, 8. A faction or party. This covers struggles caused by different factions or within your own party of characters. Well, I'm in a party of one, so that won't be a thing, but it could possibly be the tech cultist faction. Maybe you discover someone working against you or a long-time friend disappears. Well, let's see what it is, because again, there's going to be options. I don't know whether internal struggle would work. Internal struggle, possibly. Maybe there's someone within the tech cultists who wants to help me, possibly. Okay, let's see what we get anyway. Let's see what we roll up. We get a 4 external aggression. Ooh. I'm thinking that it's more likely to be a faction and probably the tech cultists, because again, they seem to be using the pyramid as like their base. External aggression means that they could potentially be in combat or maybe being attacked or hassled by another faction. Maybe the pyramid's not empty. Maybe the pyramid has other inhabitants. Okay. So maybe the tech cultists are not in complete control of the pyramid, or maybe even the forest. Maybe something in the forest is not happy to have the tech cultists back. That is also possible. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to roll up. I think we put here action and theme. I think for the last time we didn't actually roll action and theme because it was quite obvious what I wanted to do. But maybe for this one, maybe I want to roll on the action and theme tables to give me a little, maybe some help, some hints. So we've got action and the roll, and then we've got theme and the roll. Just maybe just to give us a little bit of extra help. So action, it's a percentage. We get 54. Deliver. Okay. Theme 25. Wound. Deliver wound. External aggression. Faction or party. Maybe the group of tech cultists who kidnapped the heir to House Zas. Maybe as they were trying to deliver the captive or the hostage to the pyramid, maybe they got attacked in the forest with possibly wounding some of the tech cultists. So maybe there's a chance that I'm going to come across either some dead bodies or some wounded cultists. Possibly even Kaari, the merchant that I'm trying to find. Maybe he was trying to deliver word to the pyramid and he got wounded by something in the forest, something outside of the pyramid. External aggression, faction. Well, I mean, if he's trying to aid the tech cultists, or maybe he's a member, he's trying to deliver a message that I'm coming to the faction, and maybe external aggression, maybe something in the forest caught him before I could, or before he could get there, and he's got wounded. Okay, that could possibly work. That could actually help the story. So maybe, how am I going to do that though? Maybe if we have an event, whatever I find is actually in the process of attacking Kaari. Okay, that could possibly work, but it depends whether we have an event or not. If we don't have an event, maybe I'll just come across the wounded Kaari in the forest. That's possible. Well, let's see what happens. We may not have an event, but okay, it kind of makes sense. It kind of works. Right, we are, now that we've done the scene, we've got a twist. We know roughly what that twist's going to do to our plan. What we're now going to do is wake up in the morning. And we're going to go, we went to the store, we found it was all boarded up, we've heard that he'd left the night before. So we're now going to continue on our way. We're going to go northwards towards the forest to try and find this pyramid. Right, what do we have to do now? Outdoor exploration steps. We've got to roll for points of interest in adjacent squares. So this one was already created when we went into this square here. So that's the ruin. So we don't have to roll that one again. But I am actually going to roll for point of interest in these two squares. Also, I'm going to be rolling up the terrain because I think it's pretty obvious what kind of terrain it's going to have as well. I'm also going to roll the weather for F5. Now, when we moved into Moss Moor, the previous, was it 1 day or 2 days ago? It was snowing, heavy snow. But in this game, you've got to roll for weather every time you move into a new square because the weather was kind of under some kind of weather control machine that kind of went weird when all the technology went after the cataclysm. So we can actually roll up the weather. Let me move this out of the way for the moment. That's terrain. Weather. Okay, so we're going to be rolling a D20. Get me dice. D20. What's the weather going to be like? We get a 6. Thunderstorms. Uh-oh. That could cause a problem. Visibility is reduced to 30 feet. Disadvantage on perception checks and attack rolls while outdoors. Oh no. Now, if I go into a forest, is that still going to cause issues? So I've just written it here. Wasn't quite enough space, but never mind. Thunderstorm, 30 feet visibility. Disadvantage. Oh, spell mistakes, never mind. Disadvantage to perception and attack rolls. So the weather's not going to be good. And that could cause us some problems. What else are we going to do? We are now going to... Okay, so we've got 2 exploration turns. So it takes 1 exploration turn to move from one square to another. So I'm going to have another one square. I could do that to maybe explore... Yeah, I think the other exploration turn would be the time it takes to kind of explore the forest and find the pyramid. Okay, got to roll for an event and the points of interest. Let's do the points of interest first, get them out of the way. So we'll go north first and then we'll go never east. So we'll do north, roll up the terrain type and the point of interest, and then we'll do the east one. Right, let's just get that out of the way first and then we'll roll up the event. So north, let's do the terrain first. Let's do the terrain first. Let's make sure it's all on camera. Yes, it is. So terrain for F4. The terrain for F4 is... Now, previously, okay, so we're going from the forest into forest. We get a 16 mountain. So there's mountains to the north, to the east. We have a 10 more forest. Okay, the way that the terrain is done is that you've got a very high chance of being in the same terrain when you move from one square to another. But of course, it is very reliant on where you're going from as to where you're going into. Okay, so we've got a mountain and we've got forest. Now, what about points of interest? Is there anything in these 2 squares that is of interest to me? So D20 for north. 17. An ancient ruin. Uh-oh. Okay, so we've got ruins to the north. And in the forest to the east, a 14. A landmark. Okay. Landmark. So, right, I did start a list with my first character. When I created my first character, I also made a list here in terms of content. So F4 is going to be ruins, possibly ruined office buildings again, possibly, but it's in mountain, right? And then we have forest in G5, so G5. We've got a landmark, so I'm going to write it down here, like we did before. Okay, we put landmark. Landmark. And then we rolled up. Last time we rolled up fearsome pyramid. Right, what have we got this time? Object and then descriptor. Right, object is... Oh, percentage. Object is... We get 25 again. A memorial... A memorial... What? What? 97. Deviant. Huh? Okay, so I wrote that wrong, didn't I? A deviant memorial. Right, yeah, I've written it here. So I'm going to say that in F4 is going to be a ruined factory rather than sort of office buildings. It's going to be a ruined factory. The Deviant Memorial, I'm going to have a think about. Not exactly sure how I'm going to represent that or what it is. I mean, deviant from what? Could be, I don't know. I have to think about that. But yeah, we're not going to go there just yet anyway. We've got a pyramid to explore. But let's roll up and see what happens. On a 1 to 8, nothing happens. A 9 to 12, we've got a hazard. And a 13 to 20, we've got an encounter. So we're rolling a d20. We get a 16. It is an encounter. You run into some sort of creature. Roll on the encounter outdoors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say... Bump, bump. The twist... faction or party, external aggression. So what I'm going to say, this is going to be Kaari. He left last night to deliver a warning to the cult, the tech cultists in the pyramid, about me paying or sort of asking questions. But something has basically wounded him, external aggression. And this encounter is basically going to be me stumbling upon Kaari being attacked, or because the thing is it said wound, not killed, so maybe he's still alive and maybe he's in the process of actually fighting this creature. So we're going to be rolling on this table to determine who's fighting Kaari. Right, I just wrote here, event 16 is an encounter. Kaari has been attacked while traveling to the pyramid to deliver his warning. Now, encounter outdoors. Now, this is a different table to the one that we use in the ruins. It is a different table because some of the creatures in this game, you're more likely to see them outside rather than under the depths, in the depths of a dungeon or ruins. So, I mean, what don't we want? Deep Vein Horror, I think, is going to be way too nasty for me to even consider fighting. Glass Mother, well, I mean, we did kill one. Let's see. So we want a d20. We get a 6, an Echo Knight. An Echo Knight. Okay. Okay. Let's confirm exactly what that is. An ancient combat android still following corrupt protocols. Health of 12, initiative of 12, average attack, average defense. Sword Strike for D6, Echo Blast for D8. It's got a support action, Energy Drain. The target must pass a hard constitution check to avoid becoming stunned. If this action hits, the Echo Knight gets a second standard action. Yeah, when you're stunned, you basically lose your turn. If we can get rid of it, we get one roll on the scavenging table. Now, where's my list? Here's my list now. So this is the list of the kind of miniatures that I was thinking of using. So Echo Knight, Katef, Isahar, Archvillain. Okay, I think I have actually assembled this, but I don't think it's painted yet. But that's quite a big figure. Why did I pick such a big figure? Average. I'm thinking that something smaller might be more suitable for this Echo Knight. Hang on a sec. I think it's over here. Hang on. Yeah. This is the one that I was thinking of using. It is a Katef Isahar by Archvillain Games. It's part of their science fiction range. And this is, I think, one of their Emperor of Stars range, which are kind of like... They're kind of like amazing, much better than GW Necrons. But this is like quite a large figure. It's on I think it's a 40mm base or 50mm base. So I'm thinking that maybe this is the wrong choice for that, because looking at the stats, it looks to be average. So maybe something smaller. Let me see if I've got something smaller. Yeah, I think I've got something more suitable from the same range. It's also from the Archvillain Empire of Stars range. I mean, I've actually been printing and sort of assembling some of these for use within the pyramid. See, ruining the surprise kind of thing. And I got this range of miniatures from Archvillain because I just think they're the best Necron proxy figures out there. And then we'll have the combat, but essentially Kaari is kind of on the ground in a very bad state, and this Echo Knight is kind of standing over him, getting ready to deliver sort of a killing blow. Ancient combat android, still following corrupt protocols. Yeah. So, okay.